that in a while.
We're back.
We're back. It's been a long, long time. Health and safety protocols have gotten the best of us. But we are back, and we are ready.
We're good.
All right.
Gonna have
Our
a good
first topic. A lot happened in the NFL. But today we are basically going to be talking about question marks in the NFL. What's going to happen with players and all that kind of stuff. All right. So.
Things could really change the whole balance of power in the NFL.
First of all, before we start this broadcast, I would like to say something about Kobe Bryant. Today's the 2-year anniversary. Really, it was just so sad when that happened. It was terrible.
It was
really
shocking.
Terrible. Shocking. Like, at first, I didn't even think it was real.
So young, and then plus his daughter and those
and
other
those
kids. And on the way to a basketball tourney.
Tragic.
Oh, man.
But anyways, we got to get to the broadcast.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to start off with Aaron Rodgers. They lost to the 49ers. He looked terrible. What do you got?
I've got to say I was rooting against him.
Me too. Who wants Aaron Rodgers to win? He's such an...
Well, there's a lot of Green Bay fans out there.
Yeah.
But he just was such a jerk this year. However, the big news is going to be what does he do now? Because there's some teams, if he does decide to leave, and I don't think Green Bay is winning next year either if he stays. If he decides to leave, what if he goes to the 49ers? Their weakness is really just Garoppolo. Where else are they weak?
I don't see why they would do that. You have to be considering they have Trey Lance. They drafted a quarterback.
That's why they could make it happen, because they could give Trey Lance and Garoppolo and a draft choice.
You're right.
And then
No,
they're
this
the
is
favorite.
a young team building.
If they do
no,
that,
no. This is a young team building. They don't want some 38-year-old guy coming in. He's going to be 38 next year.
he could win 2 Super Bowls in the next 3 or 4 years with them and then retire.
I mean,
It's so hard to win a Super Bowl.
They drafted this guy. They thought he was going to pan out. They haven't even given him a chance yet.
No.
He had one game and he played sensational.
I know. But if they play him next year, they're definitely not a Super Bowl favorite.
Who?
Lance.
Oh.
However.
No. Well, you can't really say that right now because they have a good chance to go to the Super Bowl right now.
Let me give you another scenario. Let's say he goes to the Titans.
Okay, now this is a topic of conversation.
Tannehill is the reason they're not still playing.
Yeah, Tannehill sucks.
Tannehill is just like
he choked.
an average QB.
He is.
He's not bad. But he's not good either. And if you look at teams, the only team that got beyond that last divisional round without a top-notch quarterback is the 49ers, and you've got to say they got by on a fluke.
Yeah. All right, yeah. I'd say
you need a top quarterback if you're going far.
Ryan Tannehill, though, I think he could go to a number. I think he's maybe the most likely quarterback. No, I wouldn't say he's the most likely. Probably second most likely to move teams. Other than Aaron Rodgers, I think Aaron Rodgers
Who is the second most likely?
Ryan Tannehill. I think he's the second most likely to move teams. Tennessee wants a guy that can clutch.
No, he's only going to move teams if Tennessee doesn't want him. He's not moving because he wants to move.
Well, obviously, he's not like a great quarterback.
Yes.
But I think Tennessee.
No, there are other people likely to move. Jameis Winston.
No, obviously, of all the quarterbacks that were in the playoffs, he's the most likely to move. If not second most likely.
Tommy B.
Okay. Anyways,
is Tommy B coming back? That's another big question.
We're gonna go first to Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson could move.
Yeah. Here's my thinking.
He would also be very, very good with the Titans.
Russell Wilson would be great with the Titans with great receivers, Julio Jones, and not just Julio Jones, but AJ Brown.
AJ Brown is by far the star there.
AJ Brown's great. He's got
They're loaded everywhere, really. All they're missing was a quarterback.
I know. And But you also have to consider they got a great backfield. That Deontay Foreman guy is really good.
The other reason that's a good place to go
is because he has guys that can. It's
because
he has a line
that
too.
division is terrible.
Yeah, he's gonna win.
So it's kind of like the old New England days. Before the season ever, if they have the quarterback, really, even if they don't, but if they do, they've already run the division.
Yeah.
They're already 6-0 before they play a game.
Yeah.
They can't lose in that division. It's bad.
Yeah.
So, but that's a
bad.
huge advantage. When you look at the season, you already know you're 6-0 before you play outside of your division. You're so much more likely to have that number one ranking and the bye. That's how they got the bye.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have got the bye if they were playing. Think if they were playing like in the West or something.
Yeah, that's another one of Tommy V's flaws.
Oh,
Meanwhile, let's get to Tommy V.
do you think he's coming back? He's kind of talking. He's talking an awful lot of family.
I know.
But do you think he'll come back?
At the end of the day, what is he? He's 44 right now, right? Correct?
And he said before 45.
Well, wait, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
And he said that a
He's gonna
lot.
I know, he's going to play till he's 45. You know,
Now, he
earlier-
also had that
wait,
thing about 50.
Now, I know, earlier this year he was saying he might play till 50. So, I mean, it's delusion. It's
Delusional.
It's delusional to think that he's not going to play just because of this one loss.
Oh,
I mean, this is like
I don't think it's because of the loss. If he retires, I don't think it has to do with. In fact, I think if
No, if they went to the conference championship and lost, we would be telling a different story.
I think if they won the Super Bowl, he'd come back next year because
Yeah.
he'd won a three-peat.
Exactly.
So
No, but there's one
I think right now it's probably 50-50.
I bet he stays.
I think it's a coin toss now. I think he could stay and he could retire equally well. He knows he's done everything he needs to do.
Yeah.
How about Sean Payton's situation?
That's what we're about to get to. All right, the Sean Payton situation, nothing short of jaw-dropping.
Well,
He
it's
really-
also huge. Not so much for what it does
He
to
retired.
New Orleans.
You know he retired.
Well,
He didn't
he
quit.
didn't. He's
Retired.
not talking retirement though. He's not saying he's saying I don't want to retire. He's stepping back, and he's also said I might be back as a coach. I'm just stepping back for right now. There's a lot of speculation. He's a year from now he's going to be the Dallas Cowboy coach. A lot of people think that. And if he is, I think actually Jerry Jones right now just wishes Sean Payton hadn't said that because he would like to install him as the coach right now today.
Yes.
If he was,
I
I think he'd be the NFC favorite to come out of that conference
Absolutely.
next year. They're loaded.
have.
They just have a terrible coach.
Listen. About the Cowboys, we've been talking about their coach so many times. All these mentions, they have a great team.
Talent-wise.
Talent-wise.
They just don't perform.
The problem is, here's the thing. If they don't work together, it doesn't work. And everyone's saying they have all this talent. Guess what? They really don't have a great running back.
Yep.
Elliott sucks.
Yep.
He fumbles every game.
Well, he's also been hurt a lot.
Also, though, it doesn't all come down. A lot of this doesn't come down to coaching. Like,
Are you kidding me? They lost that game because of coaching.
Listen.
They could still be playing.
What? You know how much credit went to Sean Payton? A lot of credit went to Sean Payton when he was the Saints head coach with Breeze.
Yeah.
Guess what happened when Breeze is gone? That team's down the drain. Guess what happened?
Not down the drain.
Guess what happened when Tom Brady left the Patriots? That year after when they had Cam Newton, down the drain.
But what about the next year?
I'd say coaches have 5% to do with the team win.
Wrong.
No.
Okay, let me give
It's
you a couple.
really just a guy. It's like the NBA. Frank Vogel isn't doing anything. LeBron's the coach.
Basketball is a little different because the superstar player kind of controls a lot more in basketball than they do in football.
I don't think you're good. Yeah.
But can I give you a couple examples that I think illustrate the opposite of what you just said about the coaches? Okay, I just want you to envision a couple of scenarios.
I can have more. I have more things.
Well, you're not even
All
allowed.
right, go ahead.
I just want to give you two scenarios. Take the last 42 seconds of the Tampa Rams game.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy B just made one of the comebacks of all time. Maybe not his greatest because he's had such great ones, but
Yeah. Okay.
it's a top comeback of all
Uh-huh.
time. Ties it up 27.
No way. They lost. Doesn't matter if they lose.
No, here's,
Alright, go on.
here's my point
Okay,
I'm
your
making.
point.
Do you think if Belichick was coaching that team, do you think that his defense would have allowed the Rams to come back and score in those 42 seconds? I think absolutely not. Before you answer that question, I will give you even more dramatic
No,
example.
no.
Just an even more example.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say Belichick was the Buffalo Bill coach. When Buffalo went up in that game, 3 points. What was there? 13 seconds left, I think.
Hey.
Do you think there's any way in the world a Belichick coach defense would allow from kickoff
Yes, I do.
with 13 seconds left? There's no way. First of all, he wouldn't have kicked it off that way. He would have
He would have
squibbed
squibbed
it.
it.
That would have used up some time.
No, really, it wouldn't. Because that would have been what, 10 seconds? They still would have had the time.
No, they wouldn't have.
They got it spiked.
Here's
No.
the-
They
here-
got it. Listen. They got it spiked with 4 seconds. That's 9 seconds.
The difference is they wouldn't have gotten that second deep ball played, and the defense would have been lined up.
Sean McDermott is arguably the coach of the year. Has been for the last 2
Okay.
years.
Do you think
He's supposed to be one of the best coaches in the league?
He's a good coach? I don't debate that.
Well, then why are you making all these?
Because he's not in the league of Belichick. That's the reason New England won so many times. Is because they never
No,
let
I agree,
that
I
stuff
agree.
happen. They never would let that. They had Tommy B,
majority-
and they would have never let that stuff
You're
happen
delusional.
ever.
You're delusional. You don't understand the laws of the game. So much more has to do with
I
the
think
players
I
and the
just gave
coaching.
2 great examples of
Here's
why
another example.
New England won all those
Here's another
championships.
example. What happened when Tom?
Another example.
Let-
Let's say he was the Packers coach. Do you think the Packers would have lost that game if Belichick was the coach? No way. There's no way in the world. He would never have allowed his special teams to be that bad.
It's not his job. It's a special teams coach job.
No, the head coach job is everything.
Listen,
It's to make sure
listen,
everything is
listen,
right. He would
listen,
never have allowed it.
Listen to
Now
me.
it is. Drop the mic.
LaFleur's a great.
He's not a great coach.
No, but all these guys that are supposed to be great coaches saying, "Oh yeah, this guy's top notch."
There's very
top
few
notch,
great coaches.
top notch, great coach. Well, why are you now saying this proves my point? Belichick, I will admit an exception. He's a great coach. He is a.
He's the best coach of
of
all time.
Okay, but with all.
There's nobody in that league. Nobody is in this category.
If Aaron Rodgers leaves next year, that team is done. Literally, they might win 3 games. So I mean, it's not. I mean, come on. They might win. They're really gonna win 3 games if Aaron Rodgers leaves.
No, I admit.
So
but
if he's one of the best, one of the best coaches in the league. Same thing with that.
No, but being better.
Same thing with that Arizona
That
coach.
could mean you're in the top
They're
10.
saying the coaches are saying.
I
they're
would not
basically
put him-
saying the teams that are good apparently have great
He's
coaches.
got a very good team. But basically, he couldn't even win a playoff game against a team that has a poor quarterback.
Here's the thing.
He couldn't get his team to score more than 10 points
Remember when
in a playoff game.
Robert Saleh was
And really, they scored that first time in the first couple of minutes of the game.
Saleh-
They went the whole rest of the game with
Robert
3
Saleh
points.
was the defensive coordinator on the 49ers, correct? Supposedly
Okay.
the best defensive coordinator in the league.
The
It was
defense
supposed to be-
played great.
Listen to me.
The defense played
Exactly,
great.
that's my point. He didn't do anything. The defense
The
did.
offense was the problem there. The defense was the problem for
No!
Tampa Bay.
Robert Saleh is now the Jets head coach, right? Jets suck. Robert Saleh was
I know.
supposedly
But what's
the
your point?
best.
My point was
Listen,
trying.
no, just let me finish. Robert Saleh was supposedly the best defensive coordinator in the league by far. Supposedly, once he went to the Jets, oh yeah, he's going to be a top head coach. Jets are going to be great. They're going to make 500 at least. I mean, it's not. It's like, come on. They won what? 3 games?
Who are we talking about now? Why are we talking New York football?
Anyway.
That makes no sense.
Anyways, we got to get to our next topic. We only got about like 5 minutes left. Our last topic today is going to be the Tennessee Titans.
I love the Tennessee Titans.
Me too.
Even though they lost, they really, for the last few years, it seems like they play better than their personnel. They're the opposite of the Cowboys and the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
They rise to the occasion. They do their best when it counts the most. Their missing ingredient is they still have an average quarterback. And how far do you go? They went as far as you can go with that kind of quarterback, basically.
Yeah. When you play, at the end of the day, when you play,
That's
good
why if they
when you play good defenses,
they don't need to get Rodgers either. If they got Russell Wilson, that would put them over the top, I believe.
yeah, Russell Wilson could go. There's a lot of talk about Russell Wilson going to the Saints, which would be a great option for him.
Not now. He's
Sean
not going to
Payton's
want to do
gone.
that with Sean Payton gone.
Also, the Giants. There's a lot of talk about the
Why
Giants.
would he want
Why
to
would
go
he want to go to the Giants? I don't know.
I
But
think
no,
almost
there's just
anybody
talk
would
about
want to
that.
go to
Anyone
the Titans
wants
now.
Russell Wilson.
No, but I mean also, if you're a player and you want to try to win,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good place to go.
Absolutely. If you're a quarterback, absolutely. If you're a running back, you don't really want to go there. If
The
you're a
only
receiver,
trouble-
you don't really want to
the
go
only
there.
reason you-
Everything's filled out.
The only reason you wouldn't want to go there, the AFC is going to be so tough to get through. You want to be in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the Super Bowl.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
What?
If you,
The
Well-
AFC is so much better now than the NFC. There's no
all
comparison.
the best records this year were in the NFC.
Because it's terrible conference now. So you're beating up on these bad teams.
I want to go back to talk. No, I can't. We can't go back
Boy,
to talk.
I think our time off has fried your brain, kid.
No, that had nothing to do with the coaching, though. That last play.
Which
that
game
play,
are we talking about?
No, in the Rams-Tampa Bay game, the last play in that one.
The coverage was
no,
terrible.
when a Belichick
The
defense.
coverage was terrible.
They're hurrying
The
the ball.
coverage.
That's just a fluke. He threw it up.
They
He knew it.
blitzed, but didn't really fully blitz, so they didn't put real pressure on, and they let the best receiver in the league run free. It was terrible defense. Every decision on those last
That's the
two plays
defensive players.
was bad.
That's the communication of the defense fault, not the coaching.
It's
Todd Bowles is supposed to be one of the best defensive coordinators too. Everyone's talking about these great defensive coordinators. That's just because the team is good. They're not doing anything.
Tampa Bay was not prepared the way like a New England gets prepared.
Okay, here's my question.
They're
Who's
too loose.
Who's most likely to be the Tennessee Titans quarterback next year?
You know, I would have said Aaron Rodgers, but I actually think there's probably a better chance he goes to the 49ers. If I were Aaron Rodgers,
What do you think?
I would want to go to the 49ers.
Who wouldn't want to be in San Francisco?
Yeah, well, that's where he's from, too.
Yeah.
The Titans, they might be Tannehill again.
I think that's a possibility. Anyway, I'm gonna go with.
I hope
Tannehill,
they
too.
upgrade.
Me too.
Because I love them, and I'd like to see them have a chance to
Me
go
too.
further.
Anyways, that's all we got today.
Nice to be back.
Nice to be back. Thank you guys for watching
Hope you enjoyed
Sports
it.
Right Now. We're